What up, everybody? This is the SKA CAST. Today on the program, we got Dal Santo.
Got a few new tracks that we've all been working on, which I'm probably biased, but I think are some of our best songs.
Today I had the immense pleasure of speaking with Gaurav, Sonny, and Jimmy of Dal Santo, and they all brought really great stories about the band, how they came together, and their perspective on music. I also got the chance to get a deep dive into their latest two releases, the songs No Not Sorry and Fall In, as well as their first two projects, the first self-titled album and the Patong Beach album by Dal Santo as well. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump to the conversation with Jimmy, with Sonny, and with Gaurav. Everybody, this is Dal Santo from Melbourne, Australia. Peace. This is the SKA CAST too. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, mate?
Hey, how you doing? Alex,
good, thanks.
By the way, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sonny.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I was gonna say I was watching the YouTube interviews that you guys were putting up where you guys were introducing yourself. Yeah. I was like, all right, cool. So I know everybody's name. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Oh, no much. Just Jimmy.
Hey, Sonny. Thanks for having us, dude.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I honestly appreciate you making time. I know it's 11 out there, right now?
Yeah, and it's super bright outside, so I'm sorry if I look a bit
weird. No, you're good.
Pretty cold in Melbourne.
Yeah,
Melbourne's cold.
Oh, hey, what's up,
man?
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, no, man. I appreciate you guys being here. I actually listen to your guys' music a lot. It's definitely like up my alley in terms of like just kind of like what I look for. Like one thing that really draws me towards your sound is like kind of the guitar tones. It's very Fender oriented, right? I would say.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I was just gonna say I love horns, but it's also cool to hear reggae bands or what have you, without horns and still like not needing them. You know what I'm saying? Because like the argument is always like, oh, if there's like a ska band without a horn section, they're kind of boring. But that's actually
totally.
I never thought that was true. I was like, as long as they got like a dialed in guitarist or keyboardist, I think they're good. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for the kind words, man. We definitely have a lot of fun and a big responsibility to fill a lot of space with three instruments. So we certainly try and change up a few of the sounds to try and get that done.
Yeah. So were you guys always like kind of like into like this style of music, or did you guys kind of come from other genres, or?
Yeah. Well, I'll go first, but basically like when I was in high school, I listened to a lot of like pop punk and punk rock and and stuff like that. So I guess that like you probably hear a lot of that kind of like Blink-182 kind of influence in a lot of the choruses or whatever it is. Just like a lot of punk. I went through an emo stage, probably still not quite out of it yet, but yeah, big fan of like emo and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I guess that's what kind of like shaped me when I was a bit younger.
Yeah, we all had pretty different tastes, but kind of come together somewhere in the middle. I was a bit of a metalhead when I was growing up. I love bands like Deftones and Tool.
Nice.
So that kind of, I don't know, that kind of inspires us a little bit to not stick to one genre, I feel. Like, it means you can combine a bunch of things. And even if it's kind of got a ska or a reggae feel, you can throw in a little jam in the middle somewhere, which may completely leave the ska world for a little while.
Yeah, of course.
So that's kind of been my big influence. And that's, I guess, the major reason why I try to throw something different and see what happens.
Totally. I've always been a ska punk kid, to be honest.
Nice. Yeah. Me too. I feel that.
So someone's going to be the ska punk kid.
I feel you. I was always kind of in the same boat. Like for years, I was like resistant to like all the other dope shit that I would hear. I guess when I was younger, for some reason, like around like 12, 13, I just felt like, oh nah, if I like punk, I can only like punk. I can't like indie rock or something. But obviously that phase passed.
Just going off what you said before, is that like part of like the punk? Is that like a punk thing? Like where like when you're younger and you go like, oh, if I like punk, that's all I can like. I can't like, jazz or blues or whatever. Like, is that like a punk thing, or is that like a teenage thing? I haven't quite worked that out yet.
That was my thing when I was a teenager for some reason. I don't know why that was the way I honestly, once I joined marching band, like in high school, I was like open to everything. So that only lasted like maybe like a year or so,
Yeah, because I was the same, and I still haven't quite worked it out. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I was like, trying to be like too punk rock, or if I was just like a teenager. I don't know. Maybe it's both.
I feel you. Yeah. Did you guys all like start off playing the instruments that you're on now, or did any of you start on like piano or something? Or
I played drums since I was 9, so lucky for me, I stuck with it.
nice.
Yeah, I was actually a drummer first, and then I think I realized very quickly that being a drummer means you have to start driving to gigs and having a lot of shit around. So
Carry a lot of shit.
it's great just be able to use a back line, bring my guitar and pedals, and be ready to go. So I think that's kind of what made me do the switch. I've always played guitar as well, but I think when I got to stage and I was starting to play in a few bands out of high school and stuff, that it became easier just to be a guitarist. So I stuck with it. I didn't have my license until I was pretty old as well, so that's probably why.
Nice.
I've always been on the bass. I actually got double bass lessons before I got electric bass lessons, but it's always been the bass of some sort. So yeah, it's always I love it. I just love it so much. So yeah, I think I started when I was like 12 or something. So it's been a while.
Nice. That's what's up. I was gonna say, so whose idea was it to all start jamming as a Dal Santo? Like, were you guys all like playing in different bands together, maybe, and you guys kind of put it together? Or did you guys already have like some sort of like friendship going on, and it's just like, yo, let's start a band, or what?
Me and Gaurav went to school together. So like, you know, our love, like, and that's sort of how we became friends, was like our love of music. And I'm sure Gaurav can retell a pretty funny story of how we actually, you know, one of the first times we met. But yeah, like we bonded over music, and, you know, wasn't too long after that we started like jamming together and, you know, sort of covering like Green Day songs or whatever we could play at the time. And yeah, and then, you know, sort of time comes and goes, and then after school, you know, we started writing like a couple of songs together and going, hey, this is pretty sick. And then, yeah, next thing you know, we're just like, we're jamming like 3-piece band, sort of trying to come up with like different sounds and different songs and trying to see where we fit.
Yeah, first time I met Jimmy, it was like we were probably like 12, 13 years old, and no one at school wanted to play bass, it seemed. It was always like everyone wants to play guitar or drums because it's the loudest instrument out there. But we're looking for a bassist, and I was just kind of asking around, and there's this new kid at school, and I heard he played bass. He's like, oh, Jimmy, do you want to jam sometime? And Jimmy's response, Jimmy's just a really positive person, and sometimes comes off as sarcastic, just goes, I love jamming. And I thought he was taking the piss. Turns out he was being serious. And then, yeah, we just started, as Jimmy said, playing Green Day songs. We started playing in like a school jazz band as well, like a big band.
Nice.
Which kind of, I don't know, it made us start thinking that maybe there's more to music than just one genre. And that's probably when we started expanding our taste a little bit.
Were you playing guitar in jazz band as well, or were you playing?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. So that's kind of when I like stepped outside of the power chord world and started playing a few more strings up top. And I don't know, that might have been what led us to being more interested in expanding our horizons a little bit. But so yeah, Jimmy and I, we've kind of been playing together for a while, and then started Dal Santo pretty soon after high school. And yeah, we recorded a couple of albums, so first 2 albums, and then we were lucky enough, once we were kind of short of a drummer, that by chance fate brought us to Sonny, and yeah, now we're the awesome threesome.
Nice. Sonny, you said you were playing drums since you were 10, right? Or
9.
9. So that were you playing for like a bunch of the ska punk bands, like kind of in your area, or?
Yeah, I was kind of playing in like whatever the heaviest sort of punk grungy bands you can find. I'm from a small town. I'm not from Melbourne, so there was like 2 local bands. Nice. Wasn't many options, but yeah, just played in a few bands and moved to the city, and then eventually found these legends. And here we are. I've done a mix of things like grungy, hardcore punk, and then like theatrical rock, and then like a bogan punk thing, like pub punk, I think they call it. Okay. Yeah, been in a few different bands, but Dal Santo is the band that I think fits me most as a musician and as a person as well. So
gotcha.
Been around. It's good to mix it up as a musician.
Yeah. Are you were you also doing kind of like jazz classes in high school or not?
No. I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't. I've never been that kind of musician to like. I'm pretty self-taught, so I was kind of more into playing in punk bands instead of school bands. And it's so intimidating when you're that age as well, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, what's funny is, you know, since you guys were always just, you know, doing music since a young age, this is just like a random question. It just kind of popped up. Did you guys ever come across people that were like, oh, okay, so you guys got your own band? Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, okay, so what? You guys do like originals or covers? Oh, no, we do originals. Oh, man, that's so like, yo, that's so tough. you know, and like I feel like people that come up in like scenes, they've been writing like original music since day one, so it's not so tough for them, you know. But like for some reason, it's like some like taboo thing to be in a band that writes like original music 24/7. Has that ever like happened to you guys? Just out of curiosity, just like in conversation, or?
Yeah, a lot. Me personally. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think like honestly, depending on where you hang out, sometimes you'll go to a pub where people aren't really interested to hear a new band and learn anything new. It's like, oh, I want to hear that classic song. And Australia has a really, really rich pub rock scene or history for quite a while, where like there's a cover band playing at a pub on a Saturday night and they'll play all the bangers, exactly what you want to hear. And, you know, when you play your originals, that's when everyone kind of pisses off and goes to the bar and gets a drink and comes back. So yeah, you do get that problem, but it kind of depends on where you go, because Melbourne's got a really, really great scene for bands that are up and coming, playing their own shit, which is, you just got to find the right place. And I think when we started off, you take whatever gigs you can get, you find yourself in that situation a bit. But as we become a bit more established, we've started playing at slightly more prominent live music venues in Melbourne, which have a bit more respect for hearing a band and play songs I may never have heard before.
Yeah. So then when you guys were coming up like in that scene, what was there ever kind of a point where you guys started up and you guys were still kind of like the local band that everyone kind of shut out? And then was there like a moment where you guys like had like just like a really good set or something, and then everyone started kind of like, you know, messing with your guys' music? Or was it like right off the jump that people were already like involved in what you guys were doing?
Jimmy, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, sorry guys. I was one thing Melbourne's known really well for is having really, really bad internet. So apologies about dropping out then. But yeah, like just to answer that question. So I guess like we're pretty lucky to have like some really supportive friends. Like don't get me wrong, there was you know, from in the beginning there was probably a few shows that we played to like the bartender and the sound guy, like especially if we didn't have any friends in that like side of town. Right. But we're really lucky to have like really supportive like group of friends where, you know, they were like genuinely excited to come and see us, because they knew that like even if they didn't necessarily know all the songs, like a lot of them were new, they knew that they were definitely going to have a good time. So I think that kind of vibe sort of spread pretty quickly, and you know, next thing you know, we're just getting people coming along for the fun times, and then they'll come to the next gig to sing along to the music. So so we're pretty lucky.
Nice. And so like in terms of the first album you guys dropped, I read it was like being written for like 2 years before it came out, right? And it came out in Bandcamp was telling me November 2016. I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I think that's right, isn't it? Yeah, that is right.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So then you guys were doing stuff since 2014. I mean, or even before then, or?
Yeah, that's when we first kind of formed Dal Santo with our original drummer. But yeah, the songs we say 2 years, but it actually might have been longer for some of them. Some of the songs we played, like we probably workshopped them in some of our older bands possibly as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit of a journey when you listen back now, because you might have written a song about something or someone, and it kind of, you know, sometimes it's like a nice nostalgia. Other times you kind of roll your eyes and cringe a bit, but you know, we're pretty proud of that first album, but that does happen. I mean, it's like, maybe you're too close to it and you go, yeah, to mention that, but oh well, it's in history now. Gotta deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what's crazy is when you start putting out music, like because you guys all look fairly young. I mean, how old are you all? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, you have to. Why don't you guess?
We're the same age, by the way. We're all three of us are the same age.
In all honesty, you guys don't look older than like 26, 27. That's
right.
Yeah,
we're pretty close. We're 29.
Oh, okay, cool.
28, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say was, you know, it's crazy is when you put out music at a young age, like it's funny because you always go through changes. You know, you go back and you listen to it like years later, and it's exactly what you're talking about. It's just like, oh, holy shit, why did I why did I think it was a good idea to put that on wax?
Totally.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, I'll say this album is really dope. I mean, I like I was saying, I was listening in for like I noticed there's a lot of like echo going on, like in a lot of like the bridge. You're doing a lot of like echo guitar solo stuff.
That's right, man. It's, I guess, like what Jimmy was saying before. It's, you got to like fill a lot of space with three people. And I think Sonny and Jimmy kind of lock down the bass, and the vocals sit somewhere up here.
Yeah.
I guess my job is just to fill all that space in between. So it's a lot of reverb, a lot of delay, and a bit of chorus as well.
Yeah. And then I saw that it was Holiday, right? It like won. It was called Triple J's Hottest 100, right? Was that?
Gaurav, you gotta shed some light on this, man. This is I knew this would come up one day.
Yeah.